Emotional lessons learned really hit the spot. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and I had a smiley face because we always want to feel better, right? That's one of the biggest emotional lessons learned. It's just a lovely graphic I created writing backwards for Supersize Your Business. And it looks like I got it backwards right. Sometimes I don't write backwards properly, and I'll have a letter backwards in my backwardsness, if that makes any sense. I have an Android phone. I use Android technology, and it's one of those things that iPhone figured out how to flip the screen so the text and the writing that you have appears in the right direction. Android's never done that. I don't know why they can't just learn. It's probably open source code and add that to their repertoire of things that our phones could do, but they can't do it. They haven't figured it out yet. And as long as they don't, I get to learn to write backwards. And it's kind of fun to creatively write backwards and think about if I can write backwards, if I can write big and backwards. It's still fun for me. So today, for our annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, where we're doing one thing every day that improves us, or we're looking for ways to continually improve in different areas and aspects of our life. This month, this segment focused on emotions, emotional well-being. And today our topic was lessons learned. And I shared just about a little more than a dozen quick, easy lessons that I've learned about emotions throughout my lifetime so far. Some good, some bad, some ugly, but it basically boils down to I define what everything means. I'm responsible for my emotions. I'm responsible for my behavior and how I feel about things all the time, no matter what other people do, right? It's, people can be mean and cruel, but I decide how I'm going to let that affect me or not affect me, and things like that. So if you're curious about that, join us for the 365-day challenge. It's just one little thing every day, a little topic. Yesterday we talked about heart walls, and last night I sat down and I removed 3 emotions from my heart wall because I totally actually, till yesterday, and actually the day before yesterday, had forgotten about that exercise and that possible way of emotionally feeling better in our life. And I don't even remember what the topic was. I think it was shields of protection, and that was what I had written down in my calendar. And I looked at that and I said, oh my gosh, heart walls. And I just went online. I looked for my emotion code book. I don't know where it is. My life is a little bit disorganized right now. It's a nice way of putting it. Yes, definitely in transition and disorganized. So access to all of my books isn't as quick and easy as it normally is. And I don't have all of my books. I got rid of 90% of my books when I moved last, and I'm pretty sure I would have kept that, but I don't know where it is offhand. And I did yesterday, since I had no internet, spend some time cleaning off some shelves so I can actually get my books out and organize them in a bookshelf, so I have easy access to the tools and the resources that I want when I want them. Otherwise, there's always the internet, if you have access to the internet. No internet, but I did have my cell phone, so I could still look it up and do the emotion code on myself. And I actually removed 3 emotions, so that was good and positive, and it reminded me that every day for the next few days, as long as I have permission from my subconscious, I will remove some more emotions and get rid of that heart wall once and for all. And it won't be once and for all, because we as humans do things that protect us and make us feel good. We do it on a subconscious level. We do things that protect ourselves, and we're always doing that, right? Our subconscious's job is to keep us safe and keep us from doing things that we think might harm us. So that often keeps us doing the same thing over and over and over again, even if it's crazy, because it doesn't get us different results. So we talked about lessons learned. How do you capture lessons learned? Why would you want to do that? And that is available on the Get Up and Go Challenge Facebook group page under Guide 15. They're all in order, so you can start anytime. And it's not like the day 1 has to come before today was day 56. You can do them in any order you want. I just like to start with something and try to keep a segment. So we did physical in January. We're doing emotional in February. We're doing mental or mindset, mental health, and mental well-being in March. April is spiritual. May is probably financial. June, relationships. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not looking at my calendar. It's here, but I'm not going to grab it. So I planned out the year of what just a topic, but as I look at that topic the night before or the day before, it often does things like triggers. Oh my gosh, you totally forgot about heart walls and that whole exercise. It was something that I discovered right after my sudden cardiac arrest in 2011. Dr. Bradley Nelson released the book, The Emotion Code, and I had heard about it from Darius Barzanti on a teleseminar. He did teleseminars, I think, almost 4 or 5 days a week, if not 4 for sure. But he did a lot of them back in the early teens, the 20 teens. I don't know how you call those. And I was listening to him as part of my personal journey and healing. And one of the guests was Dr. Bradley Nelson. And I was attracted to that because I just had a sudden cardiac arrest and I was still in recovery from that. And so the subject was right on time for me to look at and say, do I have a heart wall? Oh, I sure do. What's it made of? Where did it come from? How big is it? Things like that. And I found it really interesting and intriguing. And I still find it interesting today. So lessons learned. What are some lessons, emotional lessons that you've learned throughout your life? And do you have a way of capturing those? I actually keep a lessons learned notebook. Now, I didn't for a long time. I keep lots of notebooks. But now I've separated out things like gratitude, things like lessons learned, because I like to have things a little bit more organized and easier to find when I'm looking for them. So I just grabbed a page out of my lessons learned book and I wrote, okay, what are some emotional lessons learned? Because I haven't really broken them down by physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, confidence, and communication. I've never really broken them down that way. So I'm going to start to segment them, and I'll probably just put a little letter by them or the name by them, or maybe I'll put colored dot stickers. I don't know, through the book, through the things that I've done already. Or maybe I'll get somebody to separate them out and put them in the different life categories. I don't know. So it's a project for another day and a thought for another day. Well, our idiom for Supersize Your Business today was to hit the spot. And I showed the little graphic at the beginning that I made of a target. Because when we think of hitting the spot, we think of something that's on the bullseye, perfect for the situation, perfect for the problem or the challenge we're having. So if I'm really, really hungry and I have a big juicy hamburger, I could say that hit the spot. If I'm running my business and I want to attract the ideal customers to me, I need to know what is it exactly that they want and desire. And I'm going to sell them that, and I'm going to give them what they need, right? I'm going to make sure that people get what they need for sure, that I know they need based on experience and what I'm offering, in order to get the results that they want. People only care about what they want. People buy what they want and desire. They don't buy what they need. They buy what they want in the expectation and hopes that what they need will be satisfied. That's why so many people will buy things or they'll have a problem and they'll go online and they'll buy a book or they'll read a couple articles about it. And in their mind, they've solved that problem. Even though maybe they ordered a book and it hasn't even come yet, but in their mind, they've already let go of a lot of the drama and trauma with that problem because they know the book is on the way. And so just buying the book gives them some relief in terms of thinking they've got what they need and want in order to solve a problem that they've got. Human nature. So hit the spot, lessons learned, emotional lessons learned. I don't know what tomorrow is for our annual challenge. I'll have to look it up. I look on my calendar every day. Here's my process. I have the calendar. I did the calendar so that I've got at least something to go on. So I'll look at that today. I'll then pick an idiom from my list of, I made a list in the beginning of this segment, the emotional segment, of emotion-related idioms. And I think I've probably got, 150, 200 different idioms to choose from. So I'll look at the topic for today for the annual challenge, and then I will go to the idiom list and I'll pick an idiom. Sometimes it goes with it, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know that hit the spot and lessons learned go together, but they did in my mind when I picked it from the list of what's still available, because we've already done 24 different idioms with respect to emotions. So, and I found that I have a propensity toward selecting the positive idioms, not the negative ones. Unfortunately, about 80% and 90% of idioms and words and language are negative, not positive. So it means I have a smaller population of options to choose from. But I do some of the negative ones sometimes too, because it goes along with the topic or the day's topic. And I just started doing that this year, picking an idiom that is related to what we're doing in the annual challenge, just to kind of be aligned and keep my focus more into a certain area. And it just is my way of communicating with the people in the Supersize Your Business group, to remind us to look at things from a different perspective, understand that we get to define what everything means, and so do the people that we interact with on a daily basis. So we could have a word of the day, but words of the day to me aren't as fun as looking up and figuring out, well, what does this mean? Where did it come from? And how might people use it to impact their business? So that's why I do an idiom every day, in case you were wondering. So we had no internet yesterday. My son-in-law spent the entire day on the phone, literally, with Xfinity trying to troubleshoot our internet. And finally last night, my son brought over a new router and just installed that. So hopefully I've got internet today and can process my videos. If I don't, I think that's a reminder from the universe that I need to have someone else doing that for me and a team of people doing that, because I don't need to be doing it myself. But it's one of those things I started doing during COVID. It's do what you can with what you've got right now. And so every day it gives me some motivation to get up, get dressed, get cleaned up, move forward, share information, set an example for myself, number one, and then for whoever else needs an example of consistency, doing what you say you're going to do, etc. So if I can help you in any way, hit me up. I will probably be catching up today. No Zoom calls yesterday. No nothing yesterday. Phone calls. We did some phone calls instead of Zoom calls, but it's just not the same. I like to see people's face when we're working together. Faces in certain situations. All right. That's it. Have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow.